Students, in the last class I told you what are electrochemical cells. Electrochemical cells are the devices which converts electrical energy into chemical energy and chemical energy into electrical energy. So in electrochemical cells there are two types. Number one, galvanic cells or voltaic cells. Number two, electrolytic cells. So I told you what are galvanic cells or voltaic cells. Galvanic cells or voltaic cells are the electrochemical cells which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. So here the free energy of the oxidation reduction reaction is converted into electrical energy. Coming to, so example for galvanic cells or voltaic cell is Daniell cell. Coming to electrolytic cells, these are the electrochemical cells which converts electrical energy into chemical energy. So here electrical energy is used to bring about the non-spontaneous chemical reactions. So example for electrolytic cell is Nelson cell or copper voltameter. Nelson cells are used in the manufacture of sodium hydroxide and which you will going to learn later on. So today we will discuss the differences between galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. Differences between galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. So make two columns. First column is galvanic cells. They are also called as voltaic cells, and here it is electrolytic cells. So the first difference between galvanic cells and electrolytic cells are, number one, here chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. So in galvanic cell, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. So in electrolytic cell, what happens here? Electrical energy is converted into chemical energy. So this is the first difference. Second difference, here anode is negative and cathode is positive. Anode is negative and cathode is positive. So here anode is positive and cathode is negative. So what is the third difference? So here delta G is less than 0. That means free energy of the solution is negative and EMF of cell is greater than 0. So when delta G is less than 0 and EMF of the cell is greater than 0, it is a situation in spontaneous process. So that means here the redox reaction is spontaneous, and if the EMF is positive, then the cell reaction is feasible. So here delta G is greater than 0 and EMF of cell is less than 0. So this is the condition for non-spontaneous process. Non-spontaneous process. So that means here the electrochemical reactions are not spontaneous. To bring about these reactions, we will pass electrical energy. Electrical energy is converted into chemical energy here. So fourth difference is in galvanic cells, the two electrolytic solutions are kept separately. That means the electrode solutions of both the electrodes are kept separately and are linked using salt bridge. So the two electrolytic solutions are kept separately and are linked using salt bridge. So here both the electrodes are immersed or capped in the same electrolytic solution. So this is the differences between galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. Coming to example for galvanic cells, it is Daniell cell is an example for galvanic cell. Here example for galvanic electrolytic cell is Nelson cell, which is used in the manufacture of NaOH. So what are galvanic cells? So two electrodes are dipped in two electrolytic solutions and they are connected internally by a salt bridge and externally through a wire. So this is galvanic cell. So on the other hand, what are electrolytic cell? Two electrodes are dipped in the same solution and these two electrodes are connected to a battery. These are electrolytic cell and this one is galvanic cell. So in galvanic cells, the electrolytic solutions are kept separately and they are linked by salt bridge. In electrolytic cell, both the electrodes are dipped in the same electrolyte. So this is the differences between galvanic cells and electrolytic cells. So let us discuss the construction and working of a galvanic cell. So construction and working of galvanic cell in general. So how a galvanic cell or voltaic cell is formed? So when two electrodes, you know what is an electrode? Suppose this is one electrode, a metal dipped in the solution of its ions. So suppose this is M1 is the metal, it is dipped in M1N plus ions, its ions. So it forms one electrode. When a metal M1 dipped in its ions, M1N plus ions, it forms one electrode, say electrode 1. Electrode 1. Let us consider another electrode. Here there is another electrode which is formed by dipping a metal M2 dipped in M2N plus ions. When a metal M2 is dipped in its ions, we will get electrode 2. Electrode 2. This is electrode 1. Metal M1 dipped in its ions. Metal M2 dipped in its ions. This is electrode 1. This is electrode 2. So, if these two electrodes are connected externally through a key and a voltmeter parallelly, this is voltmeter, and internally through a salt bridge, these two electrolytic solutions are connected using salt bridge. So this is salt bridge. You will get a cell which is called voltaic cell. Voltaic cell or galvanic cell. So here electrode potential of electrode potential of electrode 1 is given, and electrode potential of this electrode is E2. Here E1 is less than E2. Electrode potential of electrode 1 is less than electrode potential of electrode 2. So we will get a galvanic cell or voltaic cell. What is a galvanic cell or voltaic cell? A galvanic cell or voltaic cell is formed when two electrodes which are differ in their electrode potentials connected externally by a conducting wire through, this is called key, switch key, and this one is voltmeter V. Voltmeter V, and internally through a salt bridge, we will get a galvanic cell or voltaic cell. So write down a galvanic cell, a galvanic or voltaic cell is formed when two electrodes of different electrode potentials, bracketally E1 and E2 such that E1 is less than E2. A galvanic cell or voltaic cell is formed when two electrodes of different electrode potentials are connected using conducting wires through switch key or plug and voltmeter. First up, the two electrolytic solutions are connected internally through a salt bridge. So we will get a galvanic cell or voltaic cell. So next, what happens when the key is open? Oxidation takes place at one electrode and reduction takes place at another electrode. Where the oxidation takes place? oxidation takes place at the electrode whose electrode potential is less, and reduction takes place where the electrode potential is high. So next, the following electrode reactions takes place. So at anode, this is negative, less electrode potential, So at anode, less electrode potential, comma, oxidation takes place. So the electrode at whose electrode potential is less, oxidation takes place, and that electrode is known as anode. So this electrode is called anode, and its sign is negative, and it is negative. So what is anodic reaction? Mn gives Mn plus n electrons. So here losing of electron, this reaction is losing of electron. It is called oxidation. So the liberated electrons will remain on the electrode, and hence the electrode becomes negatively charged. So at cathode, so it is positively charged, positive sign, more electrode potential, the electrode whose electrode potential is more electrode potential undergo reduction takes place. So out of these two electrodes, the electrode whose electrode potential is less undergo oxidation. The electrode where oxidation takes place is called anode, and its charge is negative. During oxidation, electrons will be released, and these electrons will accumulate on these electrodes. So at cathode, what is the cathode? The electrode whose electrode potential is more, and it undergoes reduction, and its charge is positive. So what is the reduction reaction? M2n plus n electrons gives M2. So this is reduction. What is reduction? Gaining of electrons. Oxidation, losing of electrons. This is gaining of electrons. So oxidation takes place at anode, reduction takes place at cathode. Anode is negatively charged because electrons will accumulate on this electrode. Here reduction takes place where the metal ions absorb the electrons and converted into metal atoms. So when the switch is on, electrons move from anode to cathode through the external wire. So this is the direction of movement of electrons. When the switch is on, electrons move from anode to cathode, and this is the direction of movement of electron. By convention, the opposite direction is considered as flow of current. So when the switch is on, electrons move from anode to cathode, and by convention convention, comma, the reverse direction is the flow of current. So current, electrons move from anode to cathode and current moves from cathode to anode. So during this flow of electrons, what is the cell reaction? So cell reaction or overall reaction. The overall reaction is the sum of the reactions of anode and cathode. So if you add cathodic reaction and anodic reactions, you will get the overall reaction. So M1, so mark this as S for solid, this is AQ for solution, this is AQ for solution, this is S for solid. M1S plus M2N plus AQ. M1S plus M2AQN plus, electrons gets cancelled with these electrons. So since they are in opposite direction, so you will get M1N plus M2S. M1N plus M2S. So this is the overall reaction. This is the anodic reaction, oxidation, cathodic reaction, reduction. Overall reaction is the sum of the anodic and cathodic reactions. So this is the overall reaction. M1S plus M2N plus gives M1N plus M2S. Next, symbolic representation of galvanic cell. Symbolic representation of galvanic cell. So these are the electrode reactions. These are very important. So write the electrode reactions of anode, oxidation, cathode, reduction, overall reaction. Then how galvanic cells are represented. So while representing the galvanic cells, you have to remember these things. The anode, what is the anode? Negative electrode is written on the left side. The anode should be written on the left side. That means the negative electrode should be written on the left side, and cathode, it is a positive electrode here in galvanic cells. Cathode is written to the right side of the salt bridge. As follows. So how the anode is represented? So anode, that is M1 S bar M1 N plus AQ. So this is anode. M1 dipped in M1N plus M1S dipped in M1N plus AQ, and you have to write double vertical lines. So this indicates the salt bridge, and then this is anode. Coming to cathode, here M2N plus AQ, where M2S is dipped in. M2 dipped in M2N plus. M2S dipped in M2N plus. This is anode and this one is cathode. This is how a galvanic cell is represented. So symbolic representation of galvanic cells. while representing the galvanic cells, you have to write the anode to the left side and cathode to the right side of the salt bridge. Here, what the single vertical line indicates and what the double vertical lines indicates. The single vertical line indicates the interface between the metal and the solutions of its ions. So here, single vertical lines, these are the single vertical lines. What they indicate? Single vertical lines indicates the interface of the metal and its ions. And what the double vertical line indicates? Double vertical lines indicates the salt bridge. So we have to write the figure. Anode should be written to the left side, cathode should be written to the right side. At anode, oxidation takes place, at cathode, reduction takes place. So what is the overall reaction? Which electrode is to be written to the left side? The electrode whose electrode potential is less is made as anode. Here the oxidation takes place. The electrode whose electrode potential is high is made as cathode, where reduction takes place. So when two electrodes of different electrode potentials are connected externally through a wire and internally through a salt bridge, you will get galvanic cell. Now we will know what is cell potential and EMF of the cell potential and EMF of the cell. What is cell potential? The potential difference between the two electrodes. When the current flows out of the cell is called cell potential. The potential difference between the two electrodes when no current flows out of the cell is called EMF of the cell. So now we will know what is cell potential. The potential difference between the two electrodes when the current flows out of the cell. When the current flows out of the cell is called cell potential. And it is determined using voltmeter. So determine cell potential. This is the cell potential. When current flows out of the cell through the voltmeter, you will know what is the amount of current flows. That electrode potential when the current flows out of the cell is called cell potential and it is determined using voltmeter. On the other hand, we can measure the EMF of this cell without making the current to flow out using potentiometer. That EMF is known as electromotive force of the cell. EMF of the cell. So it is electromotive force It is also the potential difference between the two electrodes, when no current flows out of the cell. When no current flows out of the cell is called EMF of the cell. So it is measured using potentiometer. Cell potential is also potential difference between the two electrodes. It is also, EMF is also the potential difference between the two electrodes. Here the cell potential is measured using voltmeter, EMF is measured using potentiometer. So here it is measured when current flows out of the cell, it is measured when the current does not flow out of the cell. EMF of the cell, that is E cell, is equal to E cathode minus E anode. So what is E cathode? E cathode equals electrode potential of cathode. E anode equals electrode potential of anode. So it is also, or E cell equals E right minus E left. Electrode potential of right electrode minus electrode potential of left electrode. So this is how we can calculate EMF of the cell. Then what is standard EMF? Standard EMF of the cell. So it is represented as E naught cell. What is standard EMF of the cell? It is the EMF of the cell when the concentration of the metal ions is 1 molar and the temperature is 298 Kelvin. So the standard electrode potential, standard EMF of the cell is the EMF of the cell when the concentration of the metal ions involved is 1 molar and temperature is 298 Kelvin. That is E naught cell is equal to E naught of cathode minus E naught of anode. So that is standard electrode potential of cathode minus standard electrode potential of anode is called standard EMF of the cell. So this is standard EMF of the cell. It is also called as E naught cell. So now we will know what is a salt bridge. Next, write down what is a salt bridge. Give its significance or uses. Give its significance or uses. So in galvanic cell we will use salt bridge to link the two electrolytic solution. Then what is a salt bridge? Salt bridge is an inverted glass tube filled with inert electrolytes dissolved in agar-agar gel. Write down. A salt bridge is an inverted U-tube filled with inert electrolytes dissolved in agar-agar gel. So you know what is agar-agar. So when inert electrolytes are dissolved in agar-agar gel and filled in U-tube, you will get a salt bridge. A salt bridge is an inverted U-tube filled with inert electrolytes dissolved in agar-agar gel. So suppose this is a U-tube. So this U-tube is filled with, so this is KCl dissolved in agar gel, and this one is glass U-tube. So this is called salt bridge. So next line, inert electrolytes used are number 1 KCl, number 2 KNO3 potassium chloride, potassium nitrate, number 3 ammonium nitrate, etc. Here speed of cations and anions are same. So such electrolytes where the velocity of cations and anions are same are called as inert electrolytes. Inert electrolytes we can use either KCl or potassium nitrate or ammonium nitrate salt dissolved in agar-agar gel and filled in U-tube forms salt bridge. What are the significance or uses of salt bridge? So this is important. Number 1, it is essential to complete the circuit. So circuit complete agಬೇಕಾರೆ to complete the circuit we need U-tube. Salt bridge. It is essential to complete the circuit. Number 2, it maintains electrical neutrality between the two solutions, and helps the reaction to takes place continuously. So it maintains the electrical neutrality between the two compartments or two solutions in the anode and cathodic compartments. and thereby it helps for a continuous cell reaction to takes place. Third one, it helps ion migration. It helps ion migration. Ions can be migrated from this compartment to this compartment without mixing the two solutions. It helps ion migration without mixing the two solutions. So lastly, it is for your information, it avoids liquid junction potential. So these are the important uses of salt bridge. Salt bridge is an inverted glass tube filled with inert electrolyte dissolved in agar-agar. Inert electrolytes like these. And what are the significance? Essential to complete the circuit, maintains electrical neutrality between the two solutions and helps the reaction to take place continuously. It helps ion migration without mixing the two solutions, and it avoids liquid junction potential.